So previously, we have looked at the different kemahiran lah. Okay, the different skill sets that you all need in order to differentiate any given equation. Okay, that is suitable at your level lah, at your current level. So we have learned all these various forms of differentiation, and I hope that you don't forget them when we start answering these questions. So now we're going to look at the application of differentiation. Why we use differentiation, okay, and how we use it in mathematical situations lah. So the first use of differentiation, okay, is to help us to determine the equation, okay, two equations, okay, the equation of tangent and the equation of a normal line. Okay, but before we go into that, I want to once again remind you that when we count differentiation, okay, whenever we change y into dy dx, what are we doing? We're doing the same thing. We are finding the first derivative, okay, we are finding the gradient function, okay, and we are also basically we're finding the first derivative alias the gradient function alias the dy dx alias the first level of differentiation. Okay, but my focus today is on this thing, the gradient function. When we first started this chapter, I said that whenever you find dy dx, whatever that equation is, that is called the gradient equation. So if you substitute the value of x into the dy dx, you will get the value of the gradient. Previously, when we were studying in geometric coordinate, okay, we learned that how to count the gradient. Gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is the very boring way of finding gradient. Okay, but now when we are doing differentiation, we want to find the gradient of certain special lines. Okay, and those special lines we call the tangent and the normal. Okay, so I want you to consider this situation. Let's say I give you this curve, okay, which I've already drawn for you. Okay, and the curve, I say the equation of the curve is y equals to x squared minus 4x plus 2. Okay, so if you want to find the gradient function, what must you do to the y? You must differentiate it. Okay, Garrett, can you differentiate this for me, please? If y equals to x squared minus 4x plus 2, what is dy dx?
2x minus 4.
All right, excellent. Okay, so the gradient function is 2x minus 4. Now, I want Chanel, Abigail, and Mantani. Okay, can you, Chanel, you do x equals to 0. Mantani, you do x equals to 1. And who's the third person I called? Oh, Abigail. Okay, Abigail, you count x equals to 3. Substitute the x equals to 0, 1, or 3 into the gradient function and tell me the value of the dy dx. Okay, whenever you're ready, just unmute yourself and tell me what is the value.
-4.
Sorry, who is speaking?
Chanel.
Oh, Chanel. Okay, so dy dx is -4.
Negative 2.
-2. Okay. Okay, she says 2. Sorry, I want one more. Let's have Dayang lah. I've not heard Dayang for a long time. Dayang, kalau x sama dengan 2, berapa dy dx kita?
0.
Okay, 0. Thank you. Now, I want you to notice these things, that the gradient function is the same function. Okay, the gradient function is the same function, which is 2x minus 4, which Garrett already correctly differentiated. But we find that for different values of x, bila x kan dia berlainan nilai, okay, we find that the gradient takes a different value. Okay, and the reason for this is because, okay, so let's say x equals to 0 is here. This is x equals to 0. This is x equals to 1. This is x equals to, sorry, this is x equals to 1, this is x equals to 2, this will be x equals to 3 lah, contohnya. Okay, so a tangent, if you remember from circular measure, a tangent is a straight line that touches the circle at only that point. I repeat, the tangent is a straight line that touches the circle, the curve, anything that is curvy lah, okay, at only that point. Which means, for example, let's say this is the curve I said just now, right? Let's say x equals to 2, okay? This is 2 and whatever the value of y is lah. So the tangent is this line. This is a straight line and only touches the x equals to 2. And different coordinates will have different tangents. Okay, for example, if x equals to 1, yeah, this is 1. Okay, because it's x equals to 2, right? Okay, so x equals to 1, you will find that the tangent, it is a straight line, but also touches only at one place. So since on the curve, there are many tangents depending on your x coordinate lah. So you are going to get many different gradients. Okay, so because of that, this is the single most important thing that you must remember. If you want to find the gradient of the tangent, okay, the gradient of the tangent is found okay, when you calculate dy dx at the specific x value. Okay, this is a very important. You need the x value to find the gradient of the tangent. Okay, that's point number 1 I want to make. Okay, point number 2, and I want to refresh with all of you lah. Okay, what are the things that I need to form an equation of a straight line? Equation of the straight line, the most basic shape is what? The most basic shape, sorry, the most basic template. Y equals to mx plus c. And what does m represent?
Gradient.
M represents the gradient, okay? And in this chapter, we learned that the gradient is actually dy dx at the specific x value. Okay, so different x value will give you different m. Okay, is that clear? Different x value will give you different m. So it's totally no problem. The most important thing is you must make sure that you have the correct x value. Okay, how do I find the c? This one, since last year already I taught you already. How do we find the c? What do we need?
Y-intercept.
You don't have the y-intercept. What do we usually do to find the c? Kalau saya sudah bagi kamu gradient, saya sudah bagi kamu titik, I give you a point lah. Okay, so what you do is you substitute the y, the x, and the gradient, then you can find the c lah. Kan? Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is turn to page 11 on your this thing. Okay. Okay, sorry, page 10, question number 1. Okay, page 10, question number 1. Okay, you are given the curve is y equals to -1 plus 4x minus 2x squared. Dia suruh kamu cari the gradient of the tangent, bahkan. Okay, gradient of tangent. I want you to also find the equation of the tangent. Okay. So here are the steps. Number 1, differentiate. Okay. Number 2, find the value of the gradient. How do you find the value of the gradient? You substitute the x coordinate. What is the x coordinate in the first question?
-1.
What is the x? Okay, the x coordinate is -1. Okay. Once you have the gradient, then you put it into y equals to mx plus c. Substitute x, substitute m, substitute y to find the c. This is a standard one. Now, once you have the gradient, you have 1 point, you can find the c one. Okay, and then tell me what is the equation of the tangent. I give you 2 minutes to do this. This is very easy. Okay, Farah. Come, tell me what is the differentiation.
Negative 4x plus 4.
Negative 4x plus 4. Kalau kau tulis 4 minus 4x, also no problem. Okay, so what is the value of the gradient?
8.
Okay, the value of the gradient is 8. Thank you. Okay, Colette, what do I do after this? If I want to, so the gradient is 8 lah. Ini senang. Okay, seperti yang diberi dalam jawapan. Tapi saya mau kasih up lagi ya. I want you to find the equation. Okay, Faradila. Macam mana saya mau cari equation of tangent?
Maksud sir?
Macam mana saya mau cari equation of tangent? Once I find the gradient, saya mau cari persamaan tangent, straight line.
I don't know.
Come on, people. Do we have these three information? Do we have a y coordinate? Do we have a gradient? Do we have the x coordinate? We do.
Substitute.
Correct. You substitute. Okay. What is the y coordinate? Saya tanya Faradila sampai habis ni. What is the y coordinate, Faradila?
Y coordinate. -3.
-3. It's in the question, people. It's in the question. Okay. What is my gradient?
8.
Gradient is 8. Dari mana saya dapat 8? Dari tadi. Okay, yang Farah cakap. Okay, then my x coordinate is?
-1.
-1. The same x coordinate. Okay, plus c. Okay. Faradila, cepat-cepat kira. Tell me what is the c, please. Stress ini Faradila. Cepat.
5.
Okay, c equals to 5. Therefore, my equation of the tangent, okay, persamaan tangent saya adalah y equals to 8x plus 5. Saya hanya perlu ganti the gradient yang saya kira daripada differentiation dan the c yang saya dapat daripada masa saya belajar coordinate geometry tahun lepas. Okay, last year I taught you all coordinate geometry. Saya banyak kali saya tekankan, okay, once you have the coordinate, find the y-intercept, okay, dengan menggunakan coordinate and then rewrite the equation. I don't know whether how many of you remember, sampai saya hentak-hentak itu papan putih to remind you. This is the equation of a straight line. Tangent is a straight line. Okay, nanti kita akan belajar sekejap lagi normal lah. Tapi actually normal pun kau sepatutnya tahu sudah. Okay, I just want to refresh you. So the only thing that is different in this particular section is kita menggunakan dy dx sahaja. Everything else is the same since last year we studied coordinate geometry. Okay, how to find the gradient, how to find the y-intercept, always the same. Okay, so let's try another one. Now I want to go to page 11. Saya mau jahat-jahat. Okay, page 11, question number 3. Page 11, question number 3. The equation is y equals to 2x squared minus 3x plus 2. Tapi dia hanya bagi tahu x is equals to 2. Okay, question is, do we have enough information to find the equation of the tangent or not? Do we have? Yong says we have. Oh, we have. Okay. Okay, if you think we have enough information, then you try first and see. Find the equation of the tangent. Okay, find the gradient, find the y-intercept, and then bentuk the equation of the tangent. Okay, go ahead, try and see.
Sir, y equals 5x minus 6.
Y equals to 5x minus 6. Okay, that's one possible answer. I still don't know. Then why don't you walk us through the steps? Since you already found the answer, tell me what you did.
Okay. To find y, I substitute x into the original equation.
Okay.
And then
so y equals to 2 minus 3, 2 plus 2. What do you get for y?
4.
Okay, y equals to 4, and then?
And then I differentiate the original equation. Then I get 4x minus 3.
Okay.
And then then I substitute x into that. And then I get the gradient.
Which is 5 lah, okay?
Yeah. And then the y, x, and gradient I substitute into y equals mx plus c.
Okay, so 4
then I
equals
get
to Mm-hmm.
Negative 6 for C.
Okay. So you
Then
get y equals to 5x minus 6. Okay. Looks legit. What about the rest? What do the rest think? Okay. I think Eldon has gotten it lah. So once again, this is something that we discussed yesterday, if you remember. If they give you the x, you can find the y coordinate. Tapi notice that we cannot form the equation of the straight line if I don't have the y coordinate. I can still find the gradient kalau sekadar x sahaja. Tapi saya masih perlukan koordinat y untuk mencari the y equals to mx plus c. Okay, so be aware of this. You not only have to know what to do, but you also have to know apa yang kamu perlu ada. Okay, supaya kamu boleh mendapat dia punya equation of the straight line. Okay, very important. Now, one more thing. So just now I said the equation of the tangent. Okay, the equation of a tangent, for example, if this is a curve and this is the coordinate that we want, so this is the tangent. Okay, so this line is called a tangent. The second thing that you need to know is a line that intersects the tangent at 90 degrees. And this line is called a normal line. Okay, and how do I find the equation of the normal? Okay, so this brings us to apa yang kita belajar tahun lepas during coordinate geometry. If you have two lines that are perpendicular, dia adalah 90 darjah. What is the relationship between the gradient of this purple line and the gradient of the green line? Does anybody remember? Or Fandas ka? Okay, Namai, what is the relationship between the gradient of the tangent, gradient of two lines that are perpendicular?
M1, M2, -1.
Okay, M1, M2 equals to -1. When we multiply, when we multiply the two gradients, we will get -1. Okay, please hold on for a while while I try to get my screen back on. It's annoying. Astaga, kenapa ini? Okay, you know what, everyone? Since we're doing this, what I want you to do is, do question number 1 on page 11 first. Okay, while I try to get my life back in order. Okay, let me just double check. What is the differentiation for this particular equation? Can anybody tell me? Lepas kau differentiate, apa terjadinya? Let's just double check sebelum kamu.
X minus 20.
10x minus 20.
8x minus 20.
Okay, all right. Okay, you should be able to get the equation of the tangent same as the answer in the paper lah, which is y equals to y equals to -12x plus 21. Did you guys get that? No? Okay, so now let me continue from here. So if you take a look at this diagram, remember that if the pink color thing is the curve, okay, so this one is y equals to 2x minus 5, the whole thing squared. So when you count dy dx and you count the equation, you are counting the equation for this particular straight line. Okay, and this straight line is called a tangent. And this is the equation of the tangent. So the other thing that we need to find is whenever you have tangent, you must find the equation of a line that is 90 degrees to the tangent. And this is what we call the normal line. And just now you said that the relationship between this gradient and this gradient is M1 M2 equals to -1. Kalau ia membantu, you can also say that the normal gradient equals to -1 over the tangent gradient. Kalau ini membantu kamu lah. So in order for you to find the equation of the normal, you have to find the gradient of the normal. Okay, and according to you just now, the gradient of the tangent should be -12, kan? Is that -12? The gradient of the tangent? -12, kan? Okay, so the gradient of the normal equals to -1 over -12. Alamak, apa ini? Sorry, 12. Okay, which will give you 1 over 12. Then you do the same process again, okay, to find the equation of the normal, which is y equals to mx plus c, except that now you use the gradient of the normal. Sebab kalau kamu mau cari equation of the normal, you use the gradient of the normal. If you want to find the equation of the tangent, you use the gradient of the tangent. Gradient of the tangent kamu boleh dapat terus daripada dy dx. Tapi gradient of the normal, kamu kena tambah satu step. Okay, use this one to help you to find the gradient of the normal. So the equation of the normal will be y equals to mx plus c. Our y and x is still the same, 9 and 1. But the m now is 1 over 12 plus c. Okay, I will get c equals to, oh dear. Uh, 9 minus 1 over 12. Okay, I'll get about 107 over 12. What a ridiculously high number lah. So my equation of the normal will be y equals to 1 over 12 x plus 107 over 12. Okay, so equation of tangent, equation of normal, actually we already studied last year lah. The only thing now we're doing this year is just relating it to differentiation. Okay, and that's the point of this entire exercise for today lah. Okay, so right now what I want you to do is, sir, can use y minus y1. You can use that also if you want, also no problem. Okay, I want you to answer question number 2. Okay, I want you to answer question number 2 in page 11. Y equals to 2x minus 1 and x plus 1. But I want you to find not just the equation of the tangent, I also want you to find the equation of the normal. So ini memang panjang sikit lah. Okay, find both the equation of tangent and also the equation of normal. Okay, question number 2 in page 11. Okay, saya tinggalkan ini untuk kamu merujuk macam mana mau cari equation of normal especially. Okay, as always, let me just double check what is the dy dx, please. Anybody?
4x plus 1.
Seriously? Oh yeah, 4x plus 1, yeah. Okay, so the dy dx is actually very simple lah. So nothing like what we did like last week kan yang sampai mau tercabut segala rambut semua. So actually the differentiation is not difficult lah. It's just using this one. Okay, let's just double check. What is the y coordinate for this one? If x equals to negative 1, what is the y coordinate?
0.
Okay, the y coordinate is that correct? 0. Wow. Okay. So kalau begitu, kalau begitu, did you guys get the answer? The equation of the tangent is y equals to negative 3x minus 3. Can? Dapatkah?
Yes.
Okay. Then, okay, tell me what is the equation, what is the gradient of the normal? Sorry, what is the gradient of the tangent? Sorry, gradient of the tangent is? It should be negative 3 lah, bahkan?
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the gradient of the normal?
1 over 3.
Okay, gradient of the normal is 1 over 3. Then you do the same process. Sean, why don't you tell me what is the equation of the normal?
Y equals to negative 1 over 3x plus 1 over 3.
Negative.
1 over 3, 1 over 3. 1 over 3x.
1 over 3x plus?
1 over 3.
Plus 1 over 3. Okay, yeah, I think this makes sense. Okay, take a look at your textbook, page 56, self-exercise 2.9. Okay, so the diagram on the right shows a bracelet which is represented by the curve of y equals to x squared minus 3x plus 4. And then you have point A and B over there. Okay, take a look at point A and point B lah. Okay, then dia cakap AC is a tangent to the bracelet at point A. Okay, so astaga, let's see. So this is point A and this is AC. Okay, and then this is point B, which is a totally pointless point, but so this is B. Okay, this is B, this is A, and this is C. Okay, so BC is a normal. So this is a normal. Okay, this particular line is a normal, tapi this one is a tangent. So all these words become very important lah. Okay, apa maksud normal, apa maksud tangent. Okay, so first of all, find the equation of the tangent at point A. So this is the point that I want. A is given as 1 and 2. Okay, how do I find the equation of the tangent? What is the steps I need to take?
Differentiate the original.
Differentiate first, after that.
So that sub
Okay,
X.
and then sub. Okay, after you sub.
Find the equation. Equation of
Before we find the equation, we need to find the C lah.
gradient.
Okay, depending on which method you use. Kalau macam Sharon yang mau pakai y minus y1, okay, go ahead. Tapi kalau yang saya mengajar sekarang ni, find the C. And then after that, you get the equation of the tangent. Okay, how about the equation of the normal? Didi? Normal is, this is 3 and 4. How can I find the equation of the normal? Same thing, bahkan we differentiate. We differentiate, but we sub the x. But when we sub the x kan, kita akan dapat apa? When we sub the x, we will get the gradient of which one? Are we getting the gradient of the normal or the tangent?
Tangent.
Okay, we are getting the gradient of the tangent. Tapi memandangkan dia mau kita mencari normal, we have to find the gradient of the normal. Okay, baru kamu find C and then so on and so forth lah. Okay, so equation of tangent, question A. Equation of normal, question B. Question C, the coordinate of C, where the two ends meet. Okay, how do you propose to find it? Simultaneous kah itu? How did I teach this last year? Ini, okay, what is this point called? Siapa ingat? Titik di mana dua garis itu bertemu. The point where two lines meet is called the... Don't you dare say it's called the meeting point, please. The point where
cross section.
No. Cross section is kalau saya potong cake. Okay, this is called the point of intersection. Okay, juga dikenali sebagai the meeting point lah. Okay, but officially we call it the point of intersection. And the point of intersection, in order to find the point, you use y equals to y. I don't know how many of you remember this from last year, but I taught this last year. See, the y from the tangent equals to the y from the normal. That's why kita punya equation kan y equals to mx plus c. So the y tangent equals to the y normal. Then you find the x coordinate, then you find the y coordinate. I repeat, after you kasih sama the two equations you get from A and from B, okay, you will get the x coordinate. Simplify lah to get the x coordinate. Make sure you find the y coordinate. Sebab soalan minta the coordinate makan. Kalau soalan minta coordinate, our final answer must be in this form. Okay, C equals to whatever the x coordinate is, and then whatever the y coordinate is. Okay, so these are things that we've learned last year, which we are now going to use in differentiation. Okay, question number 3. I think question number 3 looks interesting. Okay, in the diagram on the right, the tangent to the curve y equals to ax cubed minus 4x plus b then dia bagi P is 2 and 1, intersects the x-axis, okay, at Q, which is 1 over 2 and 0. Okay, the normal intersects the x-axis at R. Okay, find the values of A and B. How would you propose to find the values of A and B? Actually, we discussed a similar question to this yesterday, if you remember your yesterday's homework. How do you propose to find A and B?
Substitute
Substitute what?
the coordinates
Okay.
of P into the equation.
Okay, you substitute the P into the equation. So, and then? But that will only give you one equation. You want to find two values. So you need a second equation.
Differentiate.
Okay, if you differentiate, and then after that?
Sub the equation.
Sub the what?
Sub the coordinate.
Sub the coordinate can, but the problem is I don't have the gradient for that. Do I have the gradient? No, I don't have the gradient. Dia hanya bagi tahu the tangent is at 2 and 1, but they don't tell me what's the value of the gradient. So how? I need to find the value of the gradient. Okay. So let's say we follow what Eldon said, we differentiate. So we differentiate this, we will get 3ax squared minus 4. Okay, that makes sense lah. So we want to substitute the x, right? Okay, we can substitute the x, no problem. 3a and then 2 squared minus 4, you will get 12a minus 4. Okay, but the problem is, how am I going to find a if I don't know what is the dy dx? I don't know what is the gradient. Or do I know what is the gradient? Take a look at the gambar aja.
From point P lah kan?
Sorry?
Buat to cari gradient dari P.
Cari gradient dari P sahaja.
Use the old formula.
Use the
Yeah,
old
y
formula.
minus.
Okay, very good. So actually, you can get the gradient by calculating y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Because what are the 2 points that are on the straight line? Point P and Q, bahkan. So you use point P and point Q to get the gradient. Once you have the gradient, then you can find A. Once you have A, then you can find B. Okay, so this is a good question. It's a very good question because it combines both topics, differentiation and coordinate geometry. Which is why you cannot look at it separately. Oh, okay, coordinate geometry is coordinate geometry lah. Dia semua saling berkaitan ni. Nanti bila kita masuk chapter 3 kan, it's going to be even more berkaitan. Okay, so just because we learned these things last year kan, doesn't mean that you have to forget about it. No, cannot. We have to use it this year again. Okay, so kalau kamu sudah lupa macam mana mau kaitkan coordinate geometry, I hope this is a wake-up call for you lah. Okay. Now, once you find the values of A and B, you can find the equation of the normal at point P lah, which is question B. Okay, and you can find the coordinates of R. I just want to talk about the coordinates of R. Okay, if I already have the equation of normal, okay, use the equation of normal, okay, and sub what? What can I sub? In order for me to find the coordinates of R, what is something that I can sub in? There's something about R that we already know. Kamu tengok saja di sana, kau tahu sudah itu. If this is the x-axis, here is R. There is something that we already know by just looking at the point. Anybody?
Y equals to 0.
Coordinate of
Okay,
y
very
is
good.
0.
Okay, coordinate y equals to 0. So when you have coordinate y equals to 0, you can find coordinate x, provided your answer in B is correct lah. Okay, then after that you just nyatakan the coordinates of R. Okay, and finally, how do I find the area of triangle PQR? It's so interesting. Anybody got cadangan how to find the equation, the area?
Yang 1/2 terus bracket tuh.
Yeah, yang guna coordinate makan 1/2 and then x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3, and x1, y1 again. Okay. Remember last year saya buat begini, and then lepas tu begini. Itu yang atas ke bawah dan bawah ke atas kan. Either that atau, okay, here's another, ini satu suggestion lah. You can do both ways just to show me that you're proving it both ways lah. Okay, so sini koordinat P, sini koordinat Q makan. Okay, you can actually find this distance. Okay, and actually ini kan kamu tahu sudah dia punya distance ini. Berapa dia punya tinggi? Dia punya tinggi adalah 1. Because the y coordinate is 1. So all you need is just the distance between Q and R. Okay, then you can use half times base times height. Okay, half times base times height. So you see, even in this kind of question, ini I know we are learning differentiation, bahkan. Notice that actually everything is connected one. There is more than one way to solve a certain problem. Okay, which is why we need to, part of the skill of doing well in admets is to be flexible. Okay, your mind needs to be flexible to think, okay, maybe there's another way to solve this problem. Dia bukan satu cara. Okay, sometimes there memang satu cara lah, but especially things like coordinate when you see how everything is connected you see that actually ada banyak cara untuk mencari benda yang sama. You just have to decide which is the best method for you. Okay, so today's homework will obviously be page 56. Okay, self-exercise 2.9. Question number 1 and number 3 is wajib. If you want the answer 2, 4 and 5, saya alur-alurkan lah. Okay, but number 1 and number 3 will be wajib for your PDD. And then page 54. Okay, self-exercise 2.8. I want you to answer. Okay, you know what? Number 3 and number 4.